So this is like day 7 hair, and this is how I do a dry shaping cut when I'm just shaping. Okay, so the length is fine, I'm just shaping. All right, so I go deep, deep, deep to the very crown of my head and pull. You gotta have some tools. You gotta have a clip, something you can part with. So I pull apart towards the front, I pull this forward, and I'm gonna twist once, come down that, and then I'll trim off. I've already done it, but see, there's a couple, there's always one. Trim off any excess curls. Okay, now you're gonna want to leave that part separated. And I actually usually dry brush my hair. I know it's a big no-no, but look, if I want to get it right, you know, you do what you gotta do, right? All right, and then you're gonna take sections. So this is just shaping, and I want round. You're gonna have to have help with the length in the back if you're cutting off length, because that needs to be, the very tip needs to be brushed straight down. You tip your head forward, trim straight across, and then when you go back, it'll give a nice round look. All right, so you're going to take the front section here, right in front of the occipital. That, it doesn't have to be perfect, but you know about where you need more shaping. You're going to pull it over. Tilt your head back a little, pull it forward, and see, look at that. You're going to cut off all the way across any of the crazy. Okay? You're going to do this side. Please remember, this is just shaping, okay? And you got to have curly enough hair that you wear your hair curly and you curl to the root, and you have, you know, a curl cut previously, and you know that you can do the round volume. Okay, please don't do this on slightly wavy hair and come for me because your hair didn't turn out like mine. I have 2C, but I got it to the root and I have curls. Okay, take it, come over your head, tilt your head away, pull it at about a 45-degree angle when it gets to where the thick is starting to wear out, and then cut off any crazy. Okay, that way when you bring it back across, you're going to get this where it's stacked like this. So instead of the blunt cut, it's going to be more rounded, and this will give you more fullness in this area right here. All right, then I take this section, I take my fingers, and I come for this section here. I call this my back bangs. It's just what I call it. It's actually the crown of your head with your bangs separate here. I do 3 bang sections. I do what I call back bangs, front bangs, and actual bangs. I know. All right. So you get a good section of it like this. You just want to check in the mirror and make sure that it's fairly even. Okay. All right. You're going to, I typically dry brush this, but you can do it just exactly the way I'm doing it right now. I twist one time and I over direct to pull it forward, come down to where the thickness starts to wear off, and you see those weird pieces coming out right there. I trim those off. You can actually trim a little higher if you want to, all up to you. I suggest starting small and then going bigger as you get more familiar with it, okay? All right, so that again, it allows that back portion to lay in more of a stacked look. All right, I will occasionally also full with length. I'll split it right down the middle as best as possible. Pull it forward like this. Now, you want to ignore this, okay? This heavy part here. You're just going to ignore that. We're only talking about this length part in the back, okay? So at this point, I'll typically twist this and pin it out of the way. That, all right. Same over here. I'll pull the bulk up. That. Yeah. And twist this up and out of my way. Or tuck it, whatever. I'm just going to tuck it. Okay. All right. There. Okay. So now I have split my hair down the middle and pulled my length forward. So when you do that, this portion right here is the very tip of the back of your length. It's the part that comes down in the V or the U in the back, okay? Please keep that in mind. Okay, so what I'm saying is if you do this and you cut at an angle up like this, you're going to create more of a V. And what we want to do is try to eliminate the V. At least that's what I want to do. I want a U and not that V cut in the back. So here's how I've determined to do this. I typically brush it out. I know. Now, feeling for my length. Come down like this. If I turn my head this way, right? Come down to this. It should be fairly even at this point. Remember, this part is the very back part of the length, right? All right, like that. Now, this part is the very back part of my length. I want this the shortest. So I will typically cut at an angle this way, leaving this one longer and this one shorter. Like that. Because I know that this is the very tippy back of my length. And I've already done this. I'm just showing you guys. It won't hurt to take a little off. All right, I'll get this one. This is if I don't have anyone to cut straight across on the bottom with your head tilted forward in the very, very back. And it should be at this point with all this up that you do that. Because you don't want to accidentally get any of these curls stuck in that length cut, okay? Oops. All right. Now, working again, knowing this is the longest part, this right here, the very middle of my back. I'm going to brush it down, keeping it in that frame of thought where I can feel that this is the long part. So I want that on this side. Okay. Turning my head that way, coming down. All right, now I'm going to look at it. So this is going to be the shortest and this the longest. And you can see I've already done it. Shorter, longer. Okay, now when I turn around, this is the very lowest layer. It should be in somewhat of a U shape. Let's see. All right, now I'll take all this craziness back down, and I should have, this should be a decent job. Whew, okay, I shared a clip and it was difficult. Here we go. Now I'm just going to inspect it. I'm going to shake it all free. Just shake it off. I'm going to look at it. You know, I mean, this is the best thing. I mean, the best thing to do is look at it. You don't want to, if you've created a little bit of a shelf area or whatever, you can always take it, pull it out at a 90-degree angle, and then come up just a tad. When you pull your fingers through to the end, you shouldn't have too much craziness coming out with these curls. See, this one's a little bit wonky. Be careful trimming these, though, because if you trim too many of them off, you can end up with more of a shelf, and you don't want that. I'm actually happy with the way this is looking because it's creating like a stack. right there. And then I can see my shorter layers up here, which I do want. Check this side. Yeah, it's looking good. I can see the stack. And remember, I've got a large portion of my front bang right here that's not down. So this is just what I call crown, back bang, and length. All right. What I'm checking for here is this rounded section, just to make sure that I can see this. And I can. All right. And then I'll look at the back. Make sure that it's rounded. Okay, not too much of a V. I should have a pretty good round shape about now. Looks okay. All right, so back to this front part. All right, so we already did this trim. So what I want to do now, if I want to get even more, I like big volume. If I want to get even more of that, I'm going to just tentatively, I'm going to take part in the middle, and then I'm going to take just this little triangle of front bangs. This is my front bangs, okay? Put that in the back. Just this little bitty bit right here of this front bang. All right, good enough. All right, now. Okay, at this point, if you're worried that you'll get some of this into your cut, then you can, hold it back. All right, let's look at this. So I pulled a little bit. Yeah, no, it's about right. Okay, so this is what I would consider bangs. And they are actually exactly correct. They're just a little long. But see how this is creating this U, upside down U. This is the face framing, the money pieces or whatever. This is important with curly hair, okay? This creates the more lift at the root. Y'all, please remember, this is not a precise cut. This is just a shaping cut. I will do a more precise cut later on brushed out or wet hair, but this is just shaping, okay? Don't come for me. Okay. All right, there's two things you can do here. You can pull it all together. This, twist once, and then I can see that the last time I cut my hair, I did not pull quite this much forward. That's fine. I can actually, these longer pieces, I can pull them aside and just do this front portion if I want to keep it the way that I had it before. You can see them. Okay, there we go. Now, if you want, I just twisted once. If you want to, you can cut way up here. That'll give, shorter pieces right here. It depends on how much of a bang that you really want. Once you make that trim, I'm actually liking mine a little longer, so I'm going to leave it be. Once you get that trim, and in this part, I really know no other way than to brush through those curls. But you take it, where it's kind of split in the middle there, go ahead and brush through it, all right? Then you're going to pull it out, and you're going to pull it in front of your face, just like this. You're going to pull it across and in front, and you want this to be exactly like that. You see there's a little extra there. I'm going to trim that off. Okay, you want this to pull in front of your face, and you want this to be at that angle. That creates the face framing piece like that. Okay? All right. This one. All right. Gonna brush through it a little. Okay. Take it, and I'm gonna pull it across. All right. There we go. Pull it across. Look at it just a little bit. That. There you go. Now, let's pull it down and look at it, and it should be, yep, it should be in that upside down U. There we go. All right. At this point, you're pretty much done. You pull everything down, go wash it if it's wash day. If not, spritz it and refresh it, whatever you want to do. But at this point, you've done a shaping cut. Wash it, style it, look at it. If you have anything wonky, you can gently do some of these over again to remove anything that's sticking out or whatever. But otherwise, this is how I do my shaping cut. And I'll show you what I'm fixing to wash it. I'll show you the finished product at the end. You can see where I put the shorter, and then this is fuller, much better. It's still just a tiny bit damp, so like day 2 for me will even be bigger. But yeah, looks good. I love it. Show you the back.